But there are people who would make you believe that the racetrack is a killing ground. And I object to that.
Now, Cadencier on the inside, Freddie Mof. Going down there. Mashney girl and seating jockey Jose Lascano.
You're having more deaths than everybody else, and everyone is hearing about the deaths occurring on your racetrack. So you've got a problem to fix.
We care about these horses, and we don't want them to die. So seeing those kind of injuries are very traumatic for us.
The Belmont Stakes, one of the crown jewels of horse racing, but in 2023, 2 horses suffered catastrophic injuries that weekend on the Belmont track, one right after the stakes and one the very next day. Sarah Hinchliffe was there.
It is difficult when we're out there dealing with that type of injury, particularly with horses that we know well.
A Newsday investigation into horse deaths at Belmont found Belmont's death rate has risen in recent years, from a low of 0.7 in 2015 to 2.1 last year, a higher rate than other racetracks, despite more than a decade of state and racing officials' efforts to reduce horse racing deaths.
Equine fatalities, it's a rare event. Now, it's a horrific event, and that's why it's so horrible, but it's a rare event.
Anytime you get into racing, if it's car racing, they crash. Dirt bikes, they crash. Boats, they crash. Horses, it isn't that we want them to crash, but we're racing, and there's going to be incidents.
Every horse competing at Belmont is required to undergo an extensive pre-race veterinary examination. In addition to that, vets look at all the horse's previous medical records, past performances, and workouts.
We're looking for any kind of heat, swelling, pain on reaction to flexion or palpation.
Hinchliffe says vets at Belmont are doing more pre-race inspections and research to detect injuries to horses than ever before. But when asked why the fatality rate at the track is up,
Why do you think that is? And do you have an answer for that?
I don't honestly have an answer. I think we saw a cluster last year that no one has an answer for.
but Dr. Craig Kulikowski says he does. In 2019, Kulikowski testified before the Senate on the treatment of racehorses and says, simply put, these horses are pushed into the sport when their bones have not fully developed.
The majority of breeders, owners, and trainers wash their hands of these horses' care the minute they are not financially viable.
The horses dying is a tragedy, but spending 20 years, 25 years of your life dealing with degenerative joint disease that you got as a 3 and a 4-year-old is incredibly unfair.
One aspect of horse racing which remains controversial is the use of painkillers. NYRA and HISA, the new federal agency that oversees horse racing, are working to limit painkiller usage.
That's the biggest concern when I look at pain meds. If they can't feel the pain, they're not going to protect themselves.
And NYRA officials say protecting racehorses will continue to be a priority. In response to Newsday's findings, NYRA says continuously improving equine safety is an organizational imperative at NYRA that motivates all aspects of the operation and informs every decision around the training and racing infrastructure at the new Belmont Park. NYRA is constructing a new Belmont Park that will set the gold standard for equine health and safety. So where do we go from here? A potential answer, according to Hinchliffe, is to mimic the National Football League and use sensors to detect an issue before it becomes a deadly one.
If we could get sensors that, can indicate a minor change in gait or a slight decrease in stride length, we can actually increase the lifespan of their racing career.
For Newsday TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.